As a non-binary person, the dating world can be a bit scary. Not only is it hard to date in general nowadays, but as a non-binary person, finding someone who truly loves and sees you as you can just add another layer on top of that difficulty already. So I figured, why not make a little dating guide for all those non-binary folks out there who are looking to get into the world of dating, just so maybe some of y'all can avoid some canon events us older NBs had to go through. One of the biggest things that I've had to learn is knowing your non-negotiables. Those are the things that you absolutely need to feel safe and affirmed when you are in a relationship. This isn't about just being picky, it's genuinely about honoring yourself and making sure that your partner genuinely sees you as non-binary, as who you are. For me, that means being with someone who uses my pronouns correctly, respects my gender without having to have that daily reminder of, yes, I am non-binary, and never treats my identity like it's some phase that I'm going through, as well as trying to project gender roles onto me within the relationship. I do not like that. That's not going to happen, at least for me personally. I think as non-binary people, it's very easy to forget that we're people. I know that's horrible to say, but because there is so much misinformation and people don't understand being non-binary a lot, we tend to forget our own value a lot of times, especially when in the dating world. And you're a person. You genuinely deserve to be seen and respected as you are, who you are, and not compromise on that. And just remember, it's okay to walk away from someone who isn't treating you right, who's making you feel small, invalidating your identity, and just not treating you how you want to be treated. Non-negotiables, especially as a non-binary person, are a way of not only protecting your peace, but protecting your safety as well. Okay, so let's get into the elephant in the room when it comes to dating apps. I won't lie, queer dating apps are interesting to say the least. You'll find everything from no labels, just vibes, which totally fine, to people that will think that you being non-binary is some quirky personality trait and not who you actually are as like a person. And yet there's so many non-binary folks out there who have found amazing partners through dating apps. So there are some diamonds in the rough in there, I promise. And my advice for that, to be as honest upfront about it as possible. So that means say you're non-binary in your profile, put your pronouns in your profile, and set that tone early. Also, it helps to use more queer-friendly dating apps as well. And also, trusting your gut when you're swiping on people. If someone says only interested in mask-presenting people or no they thems, it's okay to move on. You already know upfront what they're looking for and what they're not looking for. You gotta trust that. You deserve matches and to talk to people who already know your worth, respect who you are and your identity upfront, and are excited to get to know who you are as a person. And not have to think in the back of your mind, oh, they said in their profile they don't want this, this, and this. You know what I mean? So yeah, always trust what people say they do or don't want in their dating profiles. Let's get into some red and green flags. God, there are a lot of red flags. I'm only going to touch on a couple today because honestly, the list of red flags is long. Some of my biggest red flags are continually misgendering me even after I've said, hey, I use they them pronouns. I will literally only say it once, and if you keep going, that's a hard no. That's it. We're done. Telling you, oh, you're too pretty to be non-binary. Bruh, non-binary people can be pretty. Hello? Saying stuff like, oh, but biologically, you're still fill in the blank. That is so disrespectful. Why are you reducing someone down to what's in their pants? All of those kind of comments go to show you up front that they still see you in a binary way. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Most of the time, people will not change that. Some people will. I'm not going to say all, but a lot of people will still see you in that way. And it's up to you to decide if you want to be with someone who doesn't truly see you as who you are. You know what I mean? Some green flags for me when it comes to dating and being a non-binary person. Someone instantly getting my pronouns right. Someone actively trying to make sure that I feel comfortable in the dynamics that we have and not placing gender roles onto me. I do not like that. I do not appreciate that. So when someone just lets me be myself and lets my natural traits come out without it being connected to gender, mwah, it's a chef's kiss. Also, for me as well, I have dysphoria, and so not to get too personal, if things start to get to a physical level, getting asked where it's okay to be touched, making sure to ask every time because my dysphoria level can go up and down depending on the day, and what I'm comfortable with really depends on the day. So those kind of things, just a consideration, honestly, is so important, not only in non-binary relationships, but as a non-binary person, having someone who's actively thinking about that kind of stuff without you having to remind them, it's a chef's kiss. It's mwah. I love. So this goes for anyone and everyone because it's just a universal good advice for any type of relationship. But communication. Communication is key, y'all. Dating can genuinely feel lonely, and especially as a non-binary person, because a lot of the time we're surrounded by people who just don't get it, who don't understand, who think that we're just being weird or trying to make things more complicated than they quote unquote need to be, even though we're just people. Being able to communicate with your partner, your needs, your wants, everything in who you are as a person, as a non-binary person, and what you are and are not comfortable with, and what a relationship looks like to you is so important. And making sure that the person actively does see you for who you are. That can lead to potential heartbreak when you start to realize, oh, this person still sees me as a man or as a woman. It genuinely hurts to know that the person you're with doesn't see you as who you are. So having that upfront communication, letting them know, hey, this is who I am. This is not going to change. Being able to have those harder conversations and being able to explain what being non-binary means to you, because every single non-binary person will have a completely different relationship with their gender, what they're comfortable with, what they're not. So yeah, communication, top tier. We'll always, always, always say communication when it comes to being in a relationship. And the last and final tip for dating as a non-binary person is just have fun with it. I know it can be really stressful. It can be really lonely. You can feel all of the feelings, but at the end of the day, you get to meet new people. You get to have experiences. You get to go on cute little dates. You get to plan things. You get to do all of this stuff and have connections and try to build a connection or connections. Letting yourself just enjoy the ride is half the fun of it. So don't be afraid to take up space. Don't be afraid to ask for what you need. And don't be afraid to just have fun, because, I don't know, that's what I think dating should be all about. Like having fun and getting to know this person and realizing, hey, I want to keep having fun with you. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. If you are a non-binary person, how your experience dating has gone, because, oh god, it could probably vary from person to person. But I know that there are probably universal things we all experience as non-binary people in the dating world. I know that it's not easy all the time, but I promise it's not hopeless. There is an amazing person or people out there who will love and respect you for who you are and see you as who you are, and you deserve that. As a non-binary person, it's really hard to realize that we deserve respect because we don't see or get a lot of it, but you deserve it genuinely, and you deserve to be with someone who respects and sees you for who you are. So yeah, thank you all again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!